My name is Clifford Stott, and my area of research focuses on the social psychology of crowd behaviour. So you've only got to look to the Arab Spring and look to the Ukraine to understand the significance of what crowd events can become. People get arrested, people get criminalised, police careers can end in an instant because of decisions that are made. The work that I do began with an ESRC-funded studentship back in 1989, and through that work we began to understand that much of the conflict that we were witnessing in our research was brought about by particularly aggressive forms of policing that set in motion dynamics of escalation in a crowd, creating the psychology of a riot. Police would wheel out the riot squad to show that they had the capacity to control these crowds. And we fundamentally changed that, because what we've shown is that actually crowd dynamics involve the perception of the legitimacy of policing action. And those policing practices are not based around deterrence and fear, they're based around engagement and dialogue. Through the work that we were doing, we were producing results that then enabled us to affect the security planning for the European Championships in Portugal in 2004. And once we'd achieved that impact on policy, we were in a position to apply to the ESRC to generate funds to conduct a major study of the policing of that tournament and the implications of that policing on crowd psychology and behaviour. They developed these new units, police liaison teams or police liaison officers, and from the outset, from planning an operation onwards, they have relationships with people in the crowd that they can negotiate solutions to those problems that mean it's much less likely that the police will need or actually deploy units that might then use force, such as dispersal or what has come to be referred to as kettling.
And what Cliff's research has helped us do is engage with protest groups, and particularly protest leaders, in a much more constructive way, which means we need far fewer resources and it's more peaceful and more constructive. And it also helps us hold on to the support and consent of the majority on those difficult protests when you get a challenging small group trying to whip it up into violence.
The rest of the crowd understand it, and we don't get a domino effect, if you like, where it starts as a small localised incident, the rest of the protests see it as something else, and as a result we then get significant conflict between police and the protest groups.
We've now seen these reforms in policy. The training for public order commanders nationally has been fundamentally reformed, so all public order commanders now get some input about this crowd psychology and about this research.
We have about 60 or so police liaison officers, which has emerged directly from Cliff's research. We have a dedicated sergeant and 3 constables. We call them the Police Liaison Gateway Team, as the name suggests. They are the gateway to negotiation and dialogue with all protest groups. A protest group notifies us they're going to have a protest. The PLT Gateway Team will be the ones who will then engage them in the first instance, try and build up that relationship, that rapport, and then we will deploy police liaison team officers on the ground when the protest or the gathering or whatever it happens to be actually takes place.
This has helped spark other officers to think about how could they use research and collaboration with academia in a different way, because we need practical solutions we can deploy rather than a theoretical paper 5 years later, and that's what Cliff's done for us.